I came across this shocking tale of bigotry, and I knew that I had to share it. Accusations fly at human rights hearing into transgender woman's Brazilian wax complaint. Substantive question remained at the core of the raucous day-long hearing. Should a business be allowed to deny service on the basis of gender identity? Look at this queen. Look at this queen. Denied services based on gender identity. Shocking. Jessica Yaniv, a transgender woman, thank you for telling us, in British Columbia, describes herself as an LGBTQ activist. You forgot the plus, bigot. Vancouver. ABC Human Rights Tribunal hearing devolved into repeated outbursts and name-calling this week. A human rights tribunal. Human rights. Trans rights are human rights, bigot. As it considered a transgender woman's complaint that a home-based salon discriminated against her by denying her a Brazilian wax. Shock and horror. At one point, the complainant compared the business owner to a, call them neo-socialist. The lawyer for the business owner accused the complainant of engaging in half-truths and fabrications. Would she lie? Believe all women, especially when they're men. Tribunal adjudicator frequently had to interject to maintain decorum and to keep the hearing from careening off course. I bet many tears were shed. But a substantive question remained at the core of the raucous day-long hearing. Should a business be allowed to deny service on the basis of gender identity? Yaniv, the complainant, told the hearing she was entitled to receive the advertised wax service and that if the tribunal ruled against her, it could lead to a dangerous precedent. You cannot choose who your clientele is going to be, she bravely said, struggling through the tears. I have no problem with LGBT+. Don't forget the plus, bigot. However, business owner De Silva, now that is a Portuguese name, said she was not comfortable carrying out a Brazilian wax on a person with male genitalia, penis, and testicles, for those who are not in the know. Nor did she have the training for it. Oh, I guess penis and testicles are different than vagina. Vagina is actually pretty tough. It's pretty durable. It can take a lot of abuse, where testicles are very, very delicate. De Silva's lawyer and litigation manager told the hearing that a ruling against his client would be tantamount to ordering intimate services against someone's will. I guess this is Canada, but in America, yeah, that would be against the 13th Amendment. Personal services contracts are exempt from some things. Bake the cake, bigot. The complaint heard Wednesday on one of the more of a dozen filed by Yaniv, who describes herself as a digital marketing expert and LGBTQ plus activist. All alleged she was the subject of discrimination by salons. A few complaints have been settled without hearing or withdrawn. Settled means monetary compensation as a remedy. The Apollo 11 moon landing was so boring it must be real. Cute. Nobody faked the moon landing because nobody can keep a secret. Humans don't keep secrets very well. Yaniv also made headlines recently by engaging in a social media spat with free speech advocate Lindsay Shepherd, in which they both made disparaging remarks about each other. Twitter subsequently banned Shepherd from the platform, but not Yaniv. The tribunal had initially issued a publication ban shielding Yaniv's identity, but on Wednesday decided to lift the ban based on her social media presence and public advocacy. At Wednesday's hearing, Yaniv, who was representing herself, odd, said she came upon a Facebook ad offering the Brazilian wax, which involves the removal of pubic hair around the groin. That's almost accurate. A Brazilian wax involves the removal of pubic hair around the vagina. And they're awesome. De Silva testified she had just started her home-based business after previously performing waxes on family, and friends. Okay. Actually, I know a girl whose mom did a wax on her, and I never looked at them the same after that. But I enjoyed the wax. Yaniv was the first person to respond to her ad, she said. So you just got into business, and you're just out of business. See also 3 hypertext links Are these different cases? No, this must be the same case by a different author. There can't be this many. Are you trying to... I'll check these after if I remember. But are they trying to say that there are more than one transgender woman who's looking for Brazilian wax? I will give you a Brazilian wax, but the money has to be right. They agreed over text message to an afternoon appointment, but Yanif testified that after identifying herself as transgender what would have happened if Yanif went to get the wax and De Silva said, okay, no problem, gave him the wax, waxed his penis and testicles. Would Yanif go through with it? I mean, does he really want a wax? Because having wax in a male is very, very painful. I don't know any men who wax. They might occasionally shave down there when it's getting out of control. But again, when they shave, they're just shaving to get it more under control. They're not shaving to remove it all. Nobody wants that happy trail coming out of along the belly button. It looks kind of, but that's only for people who are very, very hairy. She was not comfortable with the idea of waxing male genitals. How dare you call a penis a male genital? How dare you? Bigotry like this shocks the conscience. The idea also did not sit well with her husband. Her husband did not want her giving hand jobs to clients. Further, she didn't have any experience waxing testicles. Yeah. Everyone has the right to decide who comes in their home, she added, noting that she was also uncomfortable with the persistent messages she was getting from Yanov, who probably is a crazy person. For my safety, I said no, she testified. De Silva told the tribunal she defined someone who is transgender as a person who has undergone sex reassignment surgery. Fair point. I wouldn't define someone as transgender. Someone could be transgender and just, fully be a male and who just identifies as a woman. That's fine. You don't have to actually, there's a term for it. You don't have to actually, you don't even have to dress as a woman or wear makeup. If you identify as a woman, you can still be like a linebacker, I guess, technically. You don't have to meet anyone's expectations, is what I'm saying. She responded affirmatively when asked if she'd perform the waxing service on someone who had undergone such surgery. Yanov said the advertisement De Silva posted was open to the public and didn't come with any conditions. Well, technically that's not quite true. One of the implied conditions of a Brazilian is it's for females. She said that De Silva should have accepted that Yanov identifies as female rather than make assumptions about her based on appearance. A 300-pound man. Your gender identity is your own, Yanov testified. We live in a different day and age now. A day and age where you can force someone to wax your penis. At one point, Yanov equated the denial of services to a neo-socialist. Under cross-examination, Cameron put to Yanov that Brazilian waxes were services performed only around female genitalia, and that what Yanov should have sought was a Brazilian, waxes that involve male genitalia. Seems obvious, but I think Yanov is just looking for 1, publicity, 2, a payday. That prompted Yanov to tell the tribunal that she was intersex and that she had female body parts. It exists, bigot. Well, if I was counsel, I would say, well, why don't you just prove it right here in court? Pull your pants down. Let's all take a close look. Cameron accused her of an outright fabrication. Let me see your vagina, ma'am. You're attempting to mislead the tribunal. Cameron called Yanov's credibility into question, no doubt, and earlier suggested that Yanov had used a fake Facebook profile of a pregnant woman when she initially sought out the waxing service, a claim Yanov denied. The tribunal heard that De Silva shut down her salon business after her encounter. Her first customer, and she's out of business. Bake the cake, bigot. Earlier this month, the JCCF also represented 2 other estheticians who were the subject of similar complaints. Oh my God, there are more than one. Well, one complainant, but more than one defendant. One of them, a Sikh woman, said she declined to provide the waxing service for religious and safety reasons. Dear God, what has Canada come to? Businesses shouldn't be allowed to use religion and culture to refuse service, Yanov said. Why not? Isn't your religious freedom one of the most important freedoms to people? The freedom to practice your religion as long as it doesn't harm other people? And not waxing your testicles is not harming you. You can get that service performed anywhere. The Justice Center obtained an expert who operates a men-only salon. A bigot. Carpe wrote, the expert testified male clients will often get aroused when receiving waxing services? How? It seems extremely... I don't know how painful it is. I think the wax is cooler, but man, I can't imagine someone getting aroused, getting waxed. The smell, it doesn't smell good, and someone wearing rubber gloves is exciting to somebody. That is something I did not know. I would think the opposite would happen. There'd be a whole lot of shrinkage, little guy hiding. Also, the ideal wax for male genitals is different because the skin is very thin. Okay, that's what I thought. Testicles are much different from vaginas. Vaginas can take a lot of abuse. They're very, very tough. Because they're mostly internal, obviously. They're just the lips are external. But the lips, while they're sensitive, they're also pretty tough. It can take a lot of stretching. Over the past year, the center has made headlines for launching a legal challenge in Alberta. Canada, you were screwed. Against a law surrounding the formation of school clubs that are designed to support LGBTQ plus students, gay, straight alliances, specifically the section that prevents parents from being notified if their child joins one. Wow. In a speech, also compared the rainbow pride flag to the swastika, comments for which he later apologized. I should not have said that word on YouTube. Darn it. Decisions on the various human rights complaints are not expected for weeks. Brave, stunning and brave. I don't want to sign in to comment, but I do want to take a look at some of these comments. What is Chuck? I wish it was Chuck D. He says 911 is a joke. It's a joke in your town. Wax the balls, bigot, is the new bake the cake. What a time to be alive. Just incredible. Waxing balls. Congratulations, Canada. You're really discussing whether to force a woman to touch a man's balls. Bravo. This is what happens when you elevate a delusion to a civil right. It's exactly why creating victim groups and endowing them, no pun intended, with the special rights and special access to compensatory funds is a very bad idea. The number one human right that we have left is our preferences. But these preferences are eternal, and that they cannot override other people's preferences. For example, you may prefer your balls shaved, but your preference cannot force someone else who prefers not to shave male genitals to do it. I can't believe this needs to be explained. I can't believe either. What's even scarier than that photo is the fact that if a trans woman finds a cisgender male attractive and the dude refuses her advances, he could be labeled a transphobe. Yes, put that penis in your mouth or else you are a bigot. Bigot. If this is legal, tons of guys are going to demand nut waxes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Canada. Wow. Leftist identity politics run amok. How much degradation of culture do we have to endure before we're allowed to say, I'm not okay with the direction we're headed in? Being transsexual is a medical problem, evidenced in the fact most transsexuals are left-handed. Sinister. Anyone can tell you have a group which contains a very high number of people with the same medical anomaly means there is something medical involved. Therefore, treating transsexuals as if they are normal human beings as opposed to anomalous human beings is contrary to sanity. And all of you should write it down, start acting like you know the basics of biological anomalies or else. Good point. Let this be a lesson to all Canadians on how social issues are hijacked by high school dropout activists. I think the plaintiff is looking for a payout. She said some cases have been settled. Well, if you're a small business and you can settle a case for $2,000, you might take them up on it. So every time the trans woman sues someone and settles, she's making whatever the small business can settle for. Because to go to court is going to cost you quite a bit. Or I would think I would just defend myself in a tribunal. Defend myself by myself. Because De Silva actually hired an attorney, so it's quite a bit of money. It's really, choosing a protected class and cashing in on the oppression. Breaking news. Expecting someone to wax your nuts is not a human right. No one's entitled to a service. Yeah, in America, that law is very, very clearly stated by the, I think, 13th Amendment. Personal services contracts. But I don't know how Canada treats that. Hopefully it loses. Just another victim. Google her name. You'll be even more shocked than you already are. Oh, do we want to Google her name and look under images? This guy can't get his pubic hairs removed by a female and he's unhappy. Wow. It's not the same as baking a cake or giving a haircut. This is, I hope they establish boundaries. Yeah, this is Canada. This is Canada going way, way, way too far. And this is Jessica Yanoff, a transgender woman, a queen, a princess with perfect teeth and perfectly plucked eyebrows and dyed orange hair. I think that hair is dyed. Why would you dye it orangish blonde? What do they call that? I don't know what that's called, but weird. I would go with the white blonde, platinum blonde. That's just me. And why is he not wearing... Does he not wear a shirt in this photo? And a tiara? I wear my tiara and nothing else. And my nuts are waxed. My lady nuts. My lady penis and balls. Put them in your mouth, bigot. Put them in your mouth, or you're a transphobe. But I don't want to put your lady penis in my mouth. Well, then you're a bigot. Then a bigot I must be. Anyway. Like, comment, and subscribe if this kind of thing is up your alley.